Today is a very exciting day. Today is the day we're introducing the parrots to little Minion, who is currently sound asleep after having a very big long feed. We have actually already done a pre-introduction by which we actually took him into their room while they were in their cages and introduced them that way just to gauge their reaction and how they would react to him. Lyra was not interested. She was very much more standoffish and chose to hide at the back of her cage. Quaffle went into cage rage and got very defensive and very angry. So we were a bit cautious with Quaffle. Then we introduced Quaffle first. We let Quaffle look at him from a distance so that we could have a better engagement of what her intentions were going to be. And she primarily just looked at him from a distance and then just wanted my shoulder. And then today is the first day that me and Jason actually have off together at home after all the crazy. It has been a mad first 10 days. It has been very difficult, but we now have both girls downstairs with us and we are doing very gentle introductions. I am being Minion protector to make sure that the girls do not get too close for comfort, too close for my comfort at least, just for the first half an hour while I get a better gauge of their personalities and reactions to him. At the moment, they are keeping their distance. Quaffle does want to be with me and on me, but she's very wary of him at the same time. We've also just given them a fresh shower because they've not had a shower all week. They were desperate, the poor girls. But by giving them a shower, they're less inclined to fly around and more inclined to just sit and chill and warm up. So we did that on purpose. We made sure that they had a shower before meeting him to make them less inclined to fly around and flap around and everything else. Both girls are currently keeping their distance. Lyra is choosing to stay with Jason. She's mainly staying on his head. And Quaffle is also choosing to keep her distance. She's currently on the back of Jason's chair. Where's Jason go? We're also trying to keep the interaction as positive as possible. So as soon as they came downstairs and saw him for the first time, we got food out and food ready for them to eat. Jason is currently treating them with a banana, which is Lyra's favourite. Nom, 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 nom. So we're basically trying everything to keep the interaction positive. They're going to have treat sticks probably in a bit. Have they already had treat sticks?
Not yet.
So they're probably going to have treat sticks in a bit to again make the interaction more positive. We've got their favourite fruit out to make the interaction nice and positive. We're letting them choose how close they get to him and we're letting them watch him from a distance so that they can gauge what's going on. They can gauge what all this new furniture is and this new Moses basket and my new nursing chair. I say new, second hand from my sister, thank you Tara. But we're letting them semi-control the interaction. We're letting them approach when they're ready. We're letting them look from a distance and letting them decide when they feel safe. And at the moment, both girls are very standoffish. Quaffle has tried to come onto my shoulder on one occasion and I did not panic, but I got very defensive very quickly because it was too close to his comfort too quickly. And because I had the camera out, she was in a bit of a grump, so I didn't want to take the risk. So the second she landed on my shoulder, nearly landed on his head, I just took her off and put her back on Jason's chair. And she's kept her distance since. At the moment, they're both just standing at a distance and swatching, which is just what we wanted. We didn't want them to want to interact straight away. We want them to watch, engage, and give us a chance to actually watch their behaviour to see what's going on, how they're going to react, how they adapt to this new change. So far, they're doing really well. They're being very good girls. I know they're not on camera at the moment because I've got the camera pointing one way and the lighting is atrocious in here right now. My focus is obviously little man. But they're being very good so far. Very, very good. I'll see how we get on because this is the first time they've officially met him. First time they've officially met him properly. Yeah. Well, first time we've had them out with him. So far, they're being very good. They're being very, very, very well behaved so far. But it's one of those, we will never ever have them out unsupervised around him. More than anything for safety, because if they do decide that they like him and they want to try and interact with him, there's too high risk of him getting scratched or bitten by their beaks. And parrot beaks and parrot claws or scratches from parrot beaks and carrot claws, wow. Scratches from parrot beaks and parrot claws can become infected because of the poo on the nails and also the amount of food that they eat and the food debris left on their nails and their beaks. It's not uncommon for parrot scratches and parrot bites to become mildly infected, and we don't want that for him. Not at such a young age, not when his immunity is so low. So we're taking it slow, we're taking it steady, and we are not allowing them on him or too close to him. They're not allowed on any of his things like his Moses basket or anything like that because we don't want to risk them pooing in it. But so far, Hey cutie, what you doing? So far they are being very good girls. So far they are exceeding expectations, but we will see. Coffee, you getting unsettled? Do you want to come over here? No? Wanna come say hi? Hi. Hi, Quad. Watch from a distance. Good girl. You've got a bear patch on your belly there. Good girl. So see how she actually asked to be taken away? We respected that wish and let her move away to Jason where she felt safer and more comfortable. And that is the most important thing when introducing a parrot to a new member of the family, is appreciate and respect their body language. If they do not want to get close, do not force them to be close. If they don't want to interact with a new family member, don't force them to interact with a new family member. Let them take it at their own pace and don't rush them. The slower you take it, the more you let them feel safe and adaptive, the better it's going to be for everyone in the household. And this is not just for babies, this is for any new family member, be it a new relative or someone coming to visit. Any new family member, let the parrot choose the interaction. Let the parrot choose if they want to meet this person or if they want to keep their distance for safety. You should never ever force an interaction with a parrot, especially when it comes to new people, especially with Pionus parrots, because they are very nervous of new people and new things. We are going to continue to monitor, see how they get on. I will record as much as I can and give you guys an update at the end of this week.
Just give them the red and yellows, or do you want me to give them both?
Yeah, give them the red and yellows until they're in the back lower. Trying to get rid of them.
Oh yeah, it's a full lucky. So dry out.
You can come over here, but you're not allowed near the baby.
Couple incentive there.
Quaffy! Good girl! Yes! She's very resistant. Having one of those days. Having one of those days.
There we go.
Good girl! Careful, with the hands, very easy for someone to take.
Under here. Can you do an under? We can go back. We can do it back here.
You did do one.
Alright. I've got one left.
I'll do it. Yes, you did it again. I think this is the closest you've ever been to him. What do you think? I do. Good girl out. Under. Good girl. Over. Good. Yes, sorry. Oh, they got one behind that left. I've not got enough for the pippies. So it has now been approximately 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks since we introduced the girls to baby Minion. And as you can see, things are going well. We can actually trust the girls to some extent around him now. He's just having a burp session, so apologies if he's making a bit of noise. Yeah, you're in a bad spot there, Quaff, because I need to use my hand. So like I said, it's been about 3 weeks now since we introduced the girls to Minion, and it has been a slow process. It's been a case of we haven't let them interact every single day. There has been some days that have been more difficult, so they spent the day in the bird room. And there's been other days like today where they get to hang around with us downstairs a bit more, get used to him, get used to his dynamic, and we do have to supervise every interaction still just to be 100% safe. But as you can see, we can kind of trust them now. and they have developed a very big difference in their opinion of him. Quaffle has actually been quite comfortable with him from the start and has even tried to preen him on one occasion, which we didn't allow to happen, and neither did he. When she went to actually lean in to try and preen his hair, he had a flail moment and accidentally whacked her. She's been a bit cautious since then and not got too close, haven't you? Yes. Lyra, on the other hand, has actually been extremely wary of him. She's been keeping her distance greatly. Today is actually the closest she's got to him ever. So that is a major improvement. For the actual introduction process, let me explain a bit better how we actually did the introductions and how we've done it over the last 3 weeks. I've not really been able to film much because I've been more focused on supervising said introductions to make sure that nothing goes wrong and nothing happened. Hence why it's taken a while to get this video out. So the very first time the girls actually met baby Minion was in their cages. We put them in their cages in their bird room so that they couldn't get out, they couldn't escape, and they couldn't get near him. And we brought him into the room so that they could see him from their cages. Lyra just ran away. She was like, oh hell no, I ain't going near that. Quaffle was a bit more territorial. She was like, what is this new thing in my room? But that is how we first introduced them. We let them see him from a safe distance where we knew that they couldn't get to him and he couldn't get to them. Obviously, he can't really get to them because he's still a baby. He's no longer technically a newborn, but he is still a baby. He is only a month old at this point. After the initial introduction and just getting a gauge of their idea or likes towards him, we then did a one-on-one introduction whereby we took one of the birds out of the room. Also, apologies, this is a few inconsistencies. I am full of a cold right now, like full of a cold. So as I was saying, after the initial introduction, we then introduced them one-on-one. So we took one bird out of the room, left the other bird in the bird room, and then introduce them at a distance from baby Minion. So for example, if he was in his Moses basket, I would have, say, Quaffle on my hand. Could you go to my hand, please? Thank you. And I would have her up high out of the way so that she felt safe and secure, but was where she could actually see Minion from a distance and be able to gauge whether or not she had a liking for him. Lyra, get off the camera. Off the camera, thank you. I know, but you're not allowed on the camera, sweetheart. Then we did the exact same thing with the other bird. We got one bird, we put the first bird back in the bird room and got the second bird out. I can't remember which order we did it in. And I did the same thing where we held them high up at a distance where they felt safe and allowed them to observe him from a very big distance. We did that for 3 days. So for 3 days, we would get each bird out individually. We would let them observe him from a distance while he was sleeping in his cot or in his Moses basket. And we would do some interaction with them. We'd talk with them, we'd give them treats, we'd train them one-on-one. We'd make the interaction as positive as physically possible for them so that they associated him with good things, positive things and not scary things. Bear with me a moment, I need to put my camera on charge, the battery's about to die again. Right, so we're plugged in. After a few days of one-on-one positive interaction and letting them see him from a distance, we were ready to actually do the main introduction. So we waited for a day where both me and Jason had the whole day free. Minion was quite quiet for that day. He's certainly not quiet today, he's having a bit of a wriggle. So again, we brought both girls downstairs and had them downstairs. We had Jason monitoring the girls while I basically looked after and supervised Minion. And we just let the girls do what they wanted. It was a very neutral space. It was here in the living room. We let them sit wherever they wanted at a distance. We didn't let them on me at first. It was very much, you are not allowed on me while I have baby. They were to monitor from a distance and just get comfortable and get a feel for the world. And they were to be in the room. They could interact with Jason. We would do some training with them if he was in his Moses basket. We would make the interactions again as positive as possible and try and make it so that they weren't excluded. They were still allowed downstairs, they were still allowed to fly around. They just weren't allowed on me while I was holding him, but they were allowed on me when he was in his Moses basket. And again, we did some training with them, some interaction just to make it positive. By the second week, we had more of this sort of thing where Quaffle was allowed on me while I was holding him, but she wasn't allowed near him. She had to stay away, she had to keep her distance just because I was a bit wary. They have sharp claws and sharp beaks, and even if their intentions were positive, they could accidentally scratch him, and parrot claws and parrot beaks can get infected because they do tend to have poo chemicals and food chemicals and God knows what else on their beaks and their claws. So you don't really want them scratching your baby, because even when they claw and scratch us or bite us, the wounds do tend to get infected because of the bacteria on their nails and their beak. That is something you definitely don't want on your newborn or your infant. Hence why we have always allowed Quaffle to be on me, but not on baby. And that is still a rule. They are not allowed on baby at all. They have to stay either on me or near me. They are not allowed on him. It was the second week when we started allowing Quaffle to sit on me while I was holding him. We still made it so that if he was on one shoulder, or if I was holding him like this, she was on the other shoulder or my head, and made it so that I felt safe to have her nearby. It's getting a bit restless now. Lyra, on the other hand, has been the complete opposite. She has actually kept her distance of her own accord. She was terrified of him for the first few weeks and wouldn't go anywhere near him. She always had to be at least a metre away from him at all times. It's only been this week that she's actually started feeling comfortable to be on us at the same time that we're holding him. But as you can see, this is now week 2. We have taken another leap in progress, where we are trying the girls a bit closer to him and trusting them to be a bit closer to him. And so far, they are proving to be very respectful and very reliable. Quaffle understands she's not allowed on him. And as you can see, Lyra finally feels comfortable being on us while he is on us. But it has taken 3 weeks for her to feel this comfortable. Before now, she wouldn't go near him. And it has taken Quaffle a while to understand that she's not allowed on him, because she really wants to interact with him, don't you? You like baby. You do. You like baby. You understand baby's my baby. So that is how we have introduced the girls. We've basically taken slowly. It has taken us 3 weeks to get to this point where we feel comfortable enough and safe enough to actually allow them this close to him. And knowing that they're not going to try and touch him, they're not going to try and interact with him, they're not going to try and bite him or claw him. But we are going to have to be careful, because this is just the initial introductions. As he gets older and turns into an infant and a toddler, it's just going to get more and more complicated and more challenging, I'm sure. But that is the basics of how we actually introduced them, how we took it steady. We tried to make every interaction positive. We did training with him around. We did training when he was on me. We did training when he was sleeping in his Moses basket. And we made sure to not exclude the girls. So even if I was cuddling and holding him, I would be talking and interacting with Quaffle, or talking and interacting with Lyra. We would be treating them, or they would have treat sticks near him. We would do everything to make it as positive an interaction as possible, to let them understand that he is not a threat, but at the same time have those boundaries in place to say that you are not allowed near him or on him. I say near him. This is the closest we actually allow them to him. They are not allowed on him at all in any way, shape or form. But I do apologise, I have to go now because little man needs his nappy changing and the girls actually need training. Don't you? You need training? You want your training? Yeah, she wants training. So we are going to have to go. That is the basics of how we introduce them. We did it slowly and progressively. Nothing like this should be slow. Everything like this, where you're introducing a bird to a new member of the family, should be slow and steady, especially when it's a delicate little newborn. In regards to videos going forward, now that we are somewhat more established, I am hoping to try and make a few more educational videos and some training videos, especially with me being on maternity leave and having a bit more time. I don't have much time. He is very much taking up all of my time at the moment, but I do hope to try and make some educational and training videos going forward, especially as he gets older. So please bear with me. I know it has been a difficult year and the videos have not been great this year, and I am sorry about that, but it has been a big new lifestyle challenge. Thank you very much for sticking with us and for being patient, and we hope to have lots of videos out at some point this year. And thank you again for watching. Bye bye guys.